I hid the fact that I was trans for almost 10 years. I knew who I was since I could remember, but I never said it to anyone, not even my parents. There was this voice in my head saying, people are gonna laugh at me. It was weird because people always say that kids tend to say whatever pops into their minds. It was natural for me to keep everything to myself. I saw a documentary about a trans kid. He was just like me, and we both knew who we were at a very young age. But there was a big difference. Every time his parents tried to make him wear girls' clothes or give him girls' toys, he would say no out loud. He made his voice heard, and his parents even caught some of the moments on camera. When I finally couldn't take it anymore, and I told my family that I wanted to transition, most of them were surprised. Only the people who are closest to me looked back and said, oh, those moments when you did something like that finally made sense. But I never used my words, so most people never had a clue. The kid in the documentary had a childhood that I could never imagine. He got to have short hair, he got to wear the clothes he liked and get medical help early. And he got to live a life as a boy just like he wanted. This might be an extreme example because coming out is a big deal. And it doesn't always go well for everyone. In some less developed area, you might get into trouble like being sent to some facilities. But I'm not talking about coming out today. I'm using this story to talk about something that affects all of us. That is the importance of expressing yourself, why you should speak up. If there's one thing that I've learned from my past experience of keeping quiet, is that you have to let your thoughts out. Here's why. If you don't say what you're thinking, you're making everybody around you play a guessing game. This can make communication way much harder and way more expensive than it needs to be. And when you speak up, you're actually giving people a map of how to actually be around you. Keeping things in is exhausting. We only have so much energy in a day. And when you're constantly holding back your true thoughts, you're just draining yourself for no reason. If you're too shy or too scared to say what you're thinking, you are 100% guaranteed not to get help. And yes, if you speak up, people might reject you. But there's also a chance, and maybe it's a huge one, that you will get supported, and that support may change your life in a way that you can't even imagine right now. When you start being honest, you will see who really cares about you and who cares only about the version of you that kept quiet. It's actually the fastest way to find out who actually belongs in your life. If this sounds overwhelming, you can start from small things. If you don't like certain things or a specific smell, don't just put up with it. You just say it out loud. That is practicing saying no to the things you don't like. Then you move on to something bigger, to express your thoughts on work or to express your feeling about your life. Learning to say no to what you don't want is the first step. But once you get to start to express what you really want, life will get much easier. Life is already hard enough, so don't make it harder by fighting yourself every day. If you think you can relate, I'd like to hear your thoughts. What is the one small thing that you have been holding back lately? Let's talk about it in the comments. So thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. So adorable. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Oh, she doesn't want to.